All right, so I had a 2-screen pinball cabinet that I built. Over here, the left side was the play field, and the right side in the top corner here was the back glass, as you can see. And I wanted that third screen, so I added in a full DMD, which is the screen down below here, and it was 1280 by 800 resolution. So the first thing I thought was, okay, cool, I'm going to get my B2S DMD, the DMD built into the Cyclone back glass, working on the screen. So first things first is I quit out of vPinball, and in my tables folder I go in and I look for a screenres.txt file, and I've got it here, and this allows you to set up your screen. So you may have done this before manually, but if you've been using Baller Installer, you may not, and you may not understand this, but this essentially is my playfield screen, and it's 1920 by 1080 wide. And then this is my back glass, which is 1680 by 1050, which was over here. And my back glass was display 2. And then everything else was set to zeros. So I was like, okay, how do I add in the DMD? Well, I created a description here based on somebody else's description I found online, and then I saved it in my folder so I always know what it is and what it's used for. So essentially, I don't want an offset for the back glass, so I skip past that, and I move right into my new DMD resolution. So my DMD is actually 1280, so I can put in here 1280, and it's 800. 800 is the vertical resolution. There we go. And the position of it relative to the right edge of my back glass. So my back glass is 1680. So right here, I want this to be 1680, right? And I want the DMD to be the Y position to be relative of the top. So I want it to be right here in the top. So I'm going to set that to 0. So 1680 by 0. And then I save my file. So then I go and I launch my my pinball table, and we should see a little bit of a change. Cool. So now we've got things set up, but I need to go into here, right-clicking on my back glass on my table, my back glass, and pull up the back glass server settings. And under B2S DMD, I want to say visible, right? So I've got my visible B2S DMD. I save the settings, and I need to restart my back glass. Sorry, this is probably small. But you'll figure it out. Close, and I'll go back to my table, and I can hit F3 to restart it, or I can just hit stop and play, and it'll start again. Very similar. So cool. Now I have my back glass, or my B2S on my full DMD down here, which is really sweet. Sorry about the team viewer behavior. So the next thing I want to do is, I was looking at it, I'm like, man, it's so stretched. I don't like that. I could use the space up here. So then I thought, okay, what if I make this smaller and then put a topper in the top half? So to do that, I thought, okay, to do that, I need to adjust that screenres text file to sort of make this smaller amount of space. So we get out of here again. We'll do this a lot. And that's when I said, okay, we still want it to be 16, we want it to start at 1680, which is this edge. And we still want it to be 1280 wide, but we don't want it to be the full 800. So we actually want it to be 400 high. So that's all great. Now, if I run that, what's going to happen is, I may as well show you, it's going to throw that DMD up here because it starts at 0, right? So we got the DMD running. Now, that's the first part. I want to get the second part fixed, which is to slide it down. So if you want it down, you can keep it there if you like it up top. I like it lower because I like it near the play field so I can see my score. I don't have to look up, hard to look up at the back glass or even the top of the DMD. So to do that is your Y position of the DMD is relative to the top right edge. So I want to bring it down 400. So I don't want to touch this one. I don't want to touch this one, which is the X. I want to touch this one. So I want to set that to 400 to lower the screen another 400. Now I'll hit play, and we should see that the DMD gets into the correct position. Cool. That's awesome. And you know, the alphanumeric display doesn't look skewed, everything looks cool. And now I'm sitting here with this black space, so what can I do with it? Well, I made a DMD topper for it, or I'll just call it a topper for above the DMD. And I'm using pinup popper to display it. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So the way I chose to display the topper above my B2S DMD was to use a puppack. And it's a great way for anybody getting started with puppacks and the whole pinup popper experience with the puppacks and the pup videos, is to create your own. So that's what I decided to do. So first thing I'll do is I'll launch the pinup pack editor. You can see I've got some shortcuts on my screen just to make things quick and easy. And I'm going to look for the Cyclone ROM. You can hit C as well, and it'll take you there. This is the Cyclone ROM. So I'm going to load it, and you'll see what I've done. So I have a screens file, which is down here. And the screens.pup file lays this setup out inside that file. And essentially, I only have the topper showing that screen that you saw on the right here. Everything else is off. Then I have a playlist, and the playlist is just a folder, and the folder is called Topper. And inside that folder, I have one file, which is this Topper video I made. And you can download it at VP Universe. Don't go to vPinball. You won't get it there. And anyway, so that Topper playlist is used in the trigger section. So there's a startup sequence that uses this D0 trigger, and it plays a file called B2S DMD topper.mp4, which is the file name I have in here. I think I called it something different when I uploaded it, but you just go in here and you select the file you want to use. And I just have it set on loop, and it's active. And that's it. And then you can save your pup pack. If you want to test it, go over here, hit help test, and when you start it, look at that. You see it goes right in the location where it should. And everything's working, which is great. So you want to close that down and close your editor. Yes. And now that we've got the topper configured and set up and working, we should be able to play this, and we should be able to get the topper here. Correct? Boom, look at that. So now we've got the DMD nicely sized here. We've got a topper, and it's paradise if you're a full DMD guy and you want to, take advantage of all this stuff. Okay, so another question came in about moving your screens around, per table. And you can do that in the puppack editor, or a text file, whatever you choose. So as you can see on the right here, my topper is here. But if I decided, per table, I want to move toppers around. Maybe I want my topper on my back glass and I want it to be distorted in full screen. I could do that too. So I could close my puppack, first of all. Go back to puppack screen. So I want to move my topper to my back glass. So if you see custom position here, since I wanted to move it to my back glass screen, that's screen 2. So I'm going to put a 2 in there. My next value is the X position, then the Y position, the percentage of it, and then your X and Y dimensions. So this is all percentage based. So if I want to just keep it where it is in the top left corner, I'm going to put 0 for X, comma 0 for Y. Then I want it to be, 100% of the X dimension of this screen. So 100, and I want it to be 100% of the Y dimension of my back glass. And now I'm done. So if I save that, okay, and load her back up and then start the pup pack, you'll see my topper has now moved to this, and it's on a per table basis, right? So even though I have topper on to show globally all the time, I'm using a pup pack to move the topper for this pup pack to a different screen. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's say you didn't want to use this full screen, you want to cut the screen in half. We'll go back here, close the pack, And it's not the X we want to do. We want to cut the screen. We want to cut the Y in half. Put 50% in there just for fun. Save it. I always do a save and load because sometimes I never know if things in memory are working. And then hit start. And look what we've done. We've moved it down into the wrong position. So we can fix that. So our Y, we moved it to like the 50%. We didn't want to do that. What we wanted to do was we wanted to keep the X and Y where it should have been, and the 50 here. So this is my mistake, but it's a good mistake for me to show you because I had a brain cramp. So we saved it, we loaded it up. So remember, X and Y doesn't change. The X size is going to be 100%. The Y, which is here, is going to be 50%. This should effectively fix my problem. There we go. So now I've moved it up to the back glass. That's it. Good luck. So that's it. If you have any questions, just shoot me a text or whatever. And anyways, have fun. Hopefully this works for you and your setup. Don't forget, you're going to have different resolutions than I will.